Hi everyone, welcome to Irish Crochet Lazy, and today we're gonna make the Roslea square. For the main tutorial is for the 6 petal rows, but at the end of the lesson I will show you how to make this square with the flowers or elements that are 5, 7 and other odd numbers. So let's get started. For this tutorial, as usual, I use Altin Basak Klassik size 15 thread, and I use a crochet hook size 0.4 60 millimeters. And I've already done the flower. It's a simple Irish rose. You can find it in any tutorial, or you can check the flowers of June's dress. Over there it's called the calendula flower. I just changed a little bit the center of the flower to look at more classic. Okay, so what I have here, I have 6 petals, and I just finished the flower, and I'll do the slip stitches to the top of the flower over here. I have 9 trebles at each petal, so it's a double, half a treble, 9 trebles, half a treble and a double. And now we have to distribute evenly 12 loops of the filling with the picot. So what we do is do 6 chains and a picot into the 3rd chain, another 6 chains, 2, 4, 6, again we do, I think I've done more, no, it's okay, got 2 3rd stitch, 2 chains and a slip stitch to the edge of the flower. Again 6. I will tell you a bit about this element. First time I saw it in real life when I visited Myra Trainer's summer workshop in Clones, Ireland, and it's really amazing that the first thing that we do there is that we visit the crochet community of Roslea, where this element is widely used, still used. There is a club with beautiful ladies who meet and crochet, and you really have to attend this. So if you're on Ravelry, join the Myra Trainers group, or find her on the Facebook, where she publishes all the details for the upcoming event, and you can join the club. So there will be scones, traditional scones, and if I'm there, I'll definitely bring the Awazeri sweets called pahlava, which is very heavy with rich taste pastry with nuts and honey. I can't even talk, it's already, my mouth is watering. So anyway, right now what we do the first set of loops with picots around the flower. I might do something different from what people in Ireland do, because I was trained in modern Irish crochet, so there might be some small changes that I make for myself, for my own comfort. You might notice that if you're familiar with this element. Forgot to mute the phone. Just a second. Okay. So nobody will disturb us now. Okay, so we've done what we have here. We should have 12 loops. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Join it with a slip stitch. So we've done the 12 loop, and we join it to the with a slip stitch to the base of the first loop. Now what we do, we have to go up to the top of the next one, the first loop. We do the slip stitches into each chain, including the picot. Leave the picot behind. Over here, slip stitch under the chain, and now just 1 second, the phone call. Okay, so now we do another loop with picots. That's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here we make the first bar. We'll make 5 chains, slip stitch into the arc between the picots, turn the work, and do 6 double crochet. Might even do the 7. Again, turn the work and do the following pattern. Is 1 double, 2 trebles into the same stitch. It's 1, 2. Oops. There's lots of yarn in my workshop. doing other projects too. A bit of weaving, a bit of beading, a bit of crochet, carpet weaving. There is always some yarn leftovers around. Okay, I've got rid of the knot, and we repeat 4 times this. 2 trebles into the stitch, so in total we'll have 8 trebles. Double crochet and the slip stitch into the loop. Again, we work with another loops. So this row we make 2 loops with picots and 1 bar to shape a square. Again, 5 chains for the bar, slip stitch, 7 double crochet, turn the work, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, that's right, 1 double, 4 times we'll make 2 trebles into each stitch, and again 2 sets of chains with picots, generally most of the elements are done this way. There were also the hexagons made with the same style, and it's also made over the 6 petal rows. I will show that later in other tutorials. So I got 1 more bar, 5 chains, turn the work, slip stitch, turn the work, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to seam, turn the work, TC, 2 trebles into each stitch 4 times, slip stitch. Don't forget the slip stitch. Okay, another set of arcs with picots. Seven, turn, the seam, and trebles for the bar. And the last group. Sorry, wasn't looking into the camera, but at the work itself. Didn't notice that my hands ran away from the camera. Okay, we do the slip stitch, and now again to go up to the next row, we do the set of slip stitches. Again, this is my way I do it. There might be some differences, just because I was taught this way with my parents and my friends. Okay, we'll do 6. So this row is done with the arcs with picots only. 2, that's 6, no? Yeah, that's 6. Oops, too much. And we do slip stitch to the beginning of the bar. Now we'll make another chains, picot, 6 chains, picot to the 3rd, 2 chains, and we make the slip stitch here in the middle of the bar. This way we add more loops to our square, and slip stitch to the end of the bar. And now, as you can see, we added 2 more arcs for the next row for the extension of it, so our square becomes wider. And we continue. So yes, you definitely have to visit Myra Trainer's courses. It's really exciting. It's not only crochet time. We're also visiting museum, and if you stay for 1 or 2 days longer, you might travel to Donegal to the Pelik factory. You can travel around and see other museums, and we're definitely going to Shilin Museum of Irish Crochet Lace. Well, it's not only crochet, but there's lots of other samples like Limerick and Carrickmacross. You might be introduced to Carrickmacross lace and local weavers. So the program for the workshop is really full, really exciting. So definitely that's something that every Irish crochet lace maker has to make at least once in a lifetime. Sorry. Again, we've done the slip stitch into the beginning of the bar. I skipped three stitches, make a slip stitch into the top of the bar. It's actually W2. So skip 1, 2, 3 into the 4th slip stitch. And again, we skip 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch into the 4th. It's a pretty boring process. Let's thread again. 6. Slip stitch, 2 chains, there are different versions of the square. There is a, I think it was in DMC or it might be in Priscilla. The bars themselves contain the picots and everything, so this is just a basic square. So once you're familiar with this one, you can continue making something different. This element could be used all by itself, but mostly it's used for the bodice, when you make the main part of the top with the squares, and then you add the bodice top part with the other elements of Irish crochet lace and joined with the clonus knot filling, just like I did in my top, and I'll show you at the end of the lesson of this tutorial. 4. Okay, so we're almost done this row. One, 2, 3, 4. You have to make sure that all your loops marks contain 2 picots. So this one is okay. There's one more bar left. And slip stitch. Oops, sorry. My stomach is not happy with the diet. So this new year has left so many unwanted kilos. Now the whole body is protesting from being placed on a diet. Okay, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So generally this is how you do. Just vary the rows with the bars and without them. I usually make 2 bars because I use a pretty thick thread, and the squares themselves are also big. That's 7. Way too much. So again, do the three slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into the loop. So what we have now here is a small square, and I use, as I said before, I use two bars. So I make generally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of the filling, 2 bars, 3 rows with picots only, and this is how you do it. And if you'd like, I'll show you how I make this shamrock, because again I'm not connecting it the way they do it traditionally. I do it the way I was taught long time ago to join motifs. And this little shamrock, this 4-leaf shamrock, is my invention. Anyway, so let's move to the add-on, when I'll show you how to make the filling around the flower that has 5 petals. Okay, for the 5 petals roses, you need to make some calculations. Just because you cannot make straight 12 loops around the 5 petals, you have to first count the number of trebles. I know that in my row of the petal I have 9 trebles, and 9 multiplied for 5 gives us 45 stitches. This number is not divided by 12. If you have 60, it's okay, it's not a problem. Just count, make stitches into each 5 petal, and that's 5 stitch, and that's it. So what do we do now? We have some spaces here. I count them as 3 stitches, 3 trebles. Generally, this is how they look like. The space takes about 3 trebles. So that gives us 60 trebles in total. This is easily divided by 12, and we have 5 stitches. So what do we do now? Let me unravel it, unfold it, whatever it is. So I've done the first loop, but I didn't connect it into the center. No, too close. Okay, I counted 5 trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I made the slip stitch into the 5th treble. Now I have to make another loop with picots. 3, 4, 5. And we count this 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th one goes over here. But just because it's below the level of the petals, I make one more chain to go to this height. So now we make the loop again, but this time you make 7 chains. 2, 6, 7, and you make the picot not into the 2nd but into the 3rd stitch. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, so the 4th one will be the base of the picot. So we still got to the same level. Again, 6 chains and a normal picot, 2 stitches, and now we count again, just because we used here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the slip stitch. 5, 6. We're on the top of the petal, and into the 3rd picot. 6, another picot. Again we count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Make the slip stitch here. As you see, we have 2 petals, and we already have 4 loops. And again. We're still on the top of the petal, so we make 6 chains. And again, we do counting. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th goes here. 6, another 6, and again 1, 2, 3, and 5. So we have 3 petals and 6 arcs. Six. Remember, we're still at the top. Sorry, this fluid doesn't go away very easily. So we've got 3 stitches here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. That gives us already 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 8. So the next one will definitely fall in between the petals. So we'll make 3 chains. And we count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this one goes here. And again we'll make 7 chains. 5, 6, 7. Picot into the 4th. So we've got 3 chains and a picot. Again, we're counting. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see now, we've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And over here we have 2 more loops to place. And it will be very easy now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you see, in my case, I've got space for 1 more loop. I've done the 2 rows of petals, and the number of stitches for my case was 5. If you use the 3 rows, you just might calculate there might be something like 6 or 7 stitches that you have to skip. So generally, if you got the number 5 in total, you skip 4 stitches and make the slip stitch into the 5th one. If you have 6 of them, so obviously you skip 5 and do the slip stitch into the 6 chain, 6 treble, and so on. So generally just count the number of petals, number of trebles, and you think of that the space between the petals is 3 trebles. And this way you can fit any odd number roses, odd number petaled roses. Same with 7 and so on. Just count the number of trebles. Make sure that the number is divided by 12. So if you have, for example, I don't know, you're still using 5, you might end up with something like, might need 90 and minus 15, that would probably give you something like 75 stitches, trebles. So generally, yes, make it as close as possible to the number that's divided by 12 and get the number of stitches that you have to distribute Again, it might be six trebles, 6 stitches, 7 stitches, and so on. It all depends on the project, on the thread that you're using, so it's very simple. As I said, it requires just a very little amount of calculation. Okay, so what we have here, we have 5 petals, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 12 loops on which we can continue and make the square. The rest of the filling is done exactly the same. So the only problem that you face is just to fit the odd number into the even. So good luck. If you have any questions, leave a comment. So in the next tutorial we'll try to see how we can solve it. Okay, see you next Friday. Bye.